85 to Africa by Jidenna. After the release of his critically acclaimed album, The Chief, Jidenna went home to Africa and spent 6 months living there. He came back feeling empowered and ready to spread his new message. 85 to Africa is his idea of building a relationship with Africa, with the sound going from hip-hop to Afrobeat. How do we feel about it? Here's our honest review of 85 to Africa by Jidenna.
85 to Africa. If y'all guys ain't from the A, 85 is a highway.
Yes.
It goes from Atlanta. I don't know how far north that joint goes.
It goes
actually.
pretty far.
North Carolina? Does it go higher than that?
Higher than that.
Really?
Yeah, I could take 85 all the way to like Ohio.
Shit.
Or am I thinking of 75? I might be thinking of 75. One of those.
Know.
You can take it pretty far though.
That's crazy. Either way. Either way, that joint is crazy. So 85 to Africa, man. How do you feel about this album artwork?
I feel like the artwork is fire. I love the whole, just theme of it. Of course, we got the highway sign on the top, so it's cool. And I just like the art style of it. Like, it's nothing really, spectacular, but it just gives me some authentic art kind of look, African art, inspired. So that's what I really like about it. I like the colors of it. I just like everything about it. It's just really cool.
It does look like something that you could find at an African art shop, for a poster. Jidenna was at the Revolt Summit too.
Oh, that's what's up.
And he was talking about reconnecting with Africa at the summit. So I thought that was actually pretty dope. The album artwork is really dope. It's got a dope art texture to it. I like whatever they use to draw this because it looks really nice. Yeah. I don't know, because there's different things you can draw with, crayons, chalk. There's
pastel,
different, pastel,
colors,
And this looks really artsy and fancy.
Right.
The flow of this project, man. I felt like Jidenna actually said it really well in the Breakfast Club. The whole idea of the project is you're going from Highway 85. He's like, you're taking a trip, so it's like what it would sound like on your trip from Atlanta to Africa.
Yeah, I feel like he captured that perfectly. I remember listening to the first time, and I was just like, well, this is different. But after listening to it multiple times, I really got that feel of going from 85 to Africa, because the album really starts off more kind of hip-hop influence and then kind of switches the sound along the way.
Highlights, man. Look, so I'm not going to name everything, right? So Worth the Wait. I thought that was a dope way to start it out. I like the way they came in with the beat and everything like that. And then he went ahead and he started rapping. It started out rap, move your way towards, Afrobeat, and then kind of serious up at the last two songs, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Bachache, I think that's how you say that, right? Bachache? No.
I'm not sure. I don't want to get it wrong.
It's
either.
a leather slipper. It's a leather slipper. It's a fancy little leather slipper without a heel to it.
Okay.
I had to look that up. I thought that was cool. Gold Link did his thing on there.
Yeah.
Tribe. I like Tribe a lot. This came out a couple weeks ago. It was on the playlist and that was done. Susu is basically the idea of everybody putting in a certain amount of money to a fund, and once y'all hit the goal, y'all give the whole lump sum of money to one of the people that was putting in, and y'all do so, and everybody does that until everybody's getting that huge lump sum.
Dope.
It's actually I was just like, man, that's actually really smart.
Yeah.
And I like the way he flipped it in song form. Sophie Woman has a really smooth vibe to it, man. It's really mellow vibes to it. Pretty and Afraid, I thought that was actually kind of funny. He kind of flipped the knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone thing.
Yeah.
It actually sounds really nice, though. And then Jungle Fever is actually a really dope song about kind of how his parents met. I thought that was actually really dope. And I will mention that the other half featuring Saint Beauty and Mariba was actually really nice, too.
Yeah, Worth the Wait was a great way to start the project. I really love just the whole instrumental introduction. It's just something about coming in on a beat like that. It was just kind of he's just walking out to the crowd or something like that. I can see him opening the show with that. 85 to Africa had a really, really dope ride to it. It's something that you can easily ride to down 85, for real. How you pronounce it again?
Babachu.
I don't want to get it wrong, y'all.
Bochi?
But track 3,
I don't know.
But track 3 is great. I love the element that Gold Link brought to it. I thought it was really dope. Tribe is really dope. I love the vibe on that one. Sufi, is it Sufi?
Susu.
No, Sufi Woman.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I really love the track, man, because it's just I love that. That was kind of like the transitioning point. Well, kind of like that in is it Zodi? Zodi?
Yeah.
With Mr. Easy. Yeah, I kind of like that transition there. And then Jungle Fever stood out to me just because of, the whole story he was telling and everything like that. And I just loved how it sounds. So, yeah, it was really dope.
I just wanted to point out one thing I forgot to mention, that Sophie Woman is kind of like a spiritual woman. You know what I'm saying? And not a mystical woman. And he says Remy Rumi. Rumi is a famous poet. That's the poet that Jay-Z had named his daughter after.
Oh, okay.
So I just thought that was actually pretty cool that all of that kind of coincided. I'm pretty sure Jay-Z heard this album. That's his favorite song on the album. But
that's what's up.
Just wanted to point that out, just some clarification for anybody that didn't know, because I didn't know. I had to look it up.
That's what's up.
Lowlights, man. Look, I honestly don't really have a lowlight. If you don't like Jidenna, if you like the Classic Man, you're not really gonna get much of that here. If you like the Classic Man album, if you like the stuff that he did with some of the Afro punk on from the Chief, you will like this project. I think it's not the same as his first project. It's completely different. Like I said, I don't really have a low light. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you're not getting like barred up or anything here like that. You know what I'm saying? This is more like seriously ride music for riding in different type of situations. If anything, I like Pretty and Afraid, but like I said, that probably is the hardest to find a place to listen to that and that be the vibe for that.
Yeah, I think that was my issue when I first, listened to the album. I was like, I told you I wasn't really feeling it because I think I was comparing it too much to the Chief. So when I had actual time to sit down with it multiple times, after about like 4 or 5 listens, I was just like, okay, this is different, So I don't really have no lowlights per se about, any tracks on this album. But like you said, if you're used to the previous work that Jidenna has done, you might not gravitate to this one unless you like the Afro beats kind of sound and everything like that. So that's not a low light, but it's just to say that this is a different approach to music that he's taken in contrast to what he's done in the past. So you kind of got to be willing to take it as, another level of his artistry, another step, and I just think he's just doing a continuation of what he did with the Chief or anything, because that's what I went into it like. But once you get past that and take this album for what he's trying to do, because like you say, he spent 6 months in Africa, so I bet you that kind of like changed his mind state of everything and what he wanted to do musically. So once I took that approach to it, I appreciated the project a lot more.
Yeah, just listening to how he ended up in Africa was cool. They were leasing a house. He said they were leasing a mansion. They were working out at the mansion. And then the sheriff pulled up at the house one day and was just like, yo, y'all got to go. The person that owns the house ain't been paying on it. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, they had a lot of illegal stuff in the house. And they could have ended up in some serious stuff. But the police that showed up were cool and let them even move all of the illegal stuff. So he ended up on tour. And then he was just like, we ain't got nowhere to go. Fuck it. Let's go to Africa.
Wow.
And they were there for 6 months touring and just living, like from Nigeria to South Africa. He said he picked up a lot of stuff, and that was kind of the mentality he was in. Like, and he was just saying, like, if we could build a relationship with Africa and do business with Africa, we can build up our communities a lot faster.
Man.
And it was really introspective and interesting to listen to his interview with the Breakfast Club about that.
That's what's up.
Final thoughts, man. Look, man, I think Jidenna is one of the doper artists out here that we have today. He's unique. He doesn't sound like everybody else. He doesn't look like everybody else. He's doing something completely different. I feel like he's being like this really good ambassador for bringing this Afro-punk sound. Don't get me wrong. There's producers that are doing the Afro-punk sound. You got Diplo. You got a whole bunch of other people that have been doing it for quite a bit of time. But there's a bit of authenticity here with Jidenna, since he's actually part African for real, and he's actually dealing with people that are from Africa on the album. So it's actually a different type of vibe here, and I actually really appreciated what Jidenna did with this project because it's not what I expected. I just thought he was going to double down on a Classic Man and just go extra pop, but he kind of hit the brakes, did a 90-degree on me, and was just like, nah, I'm taking it this way.
Yeah. And that's what I appreciate about it, man. Jidenna has always been, unique to himself and what he does. He came out with the Classic Man, and he came out with the Chief, and he showed that he's very versatile. But like you said, I wasn't expecting him to go this route either because, a lot of people stick to like what's working and everything like that. And going this route can alienate fans,
Yep.
But I feel like most of them go riot with him just because of, his personality and everything that he does. So yeah, it's a great album.
Final grade, man. I'm gonna get this joint a check. You and your partners need to get together and sue this joint up. Everybody get a large lump sum of money, work on some businesses and stuff like that. This is something that you could actually grow and build off of, listen to, have a good time, learn some African terminology on, and it feels like a good time. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can listen to this, and like I said, you're not gonna be blown away, getting barred up. He ain't Jadakiss. You know what I'm saying? This ain't Jay-Z.
Still got some bars.
It's got some bars in here, but in my opinion, it's more so real talk and more understanding of things that you may not be completely aware of here that's happening. And I really appreciate what he did here, man. Check for me.
Yeah, man, most definitely a check, man. Jidenna, despite everything, man, that's just my guy, man. I just love his style, his old swagger, and I just love what he's about. It seems like every time you look at the guy, he's got a smile on his face. He's always talking to people and everything like that. He just got that real approachable attitude. And when it comes to music, man, I don't feel like he gives 100% in everything he does, man. So shout out to Jidenna, man.